Say what you want about Michael Vick, but one thing you cannot say is that he is not an inspirational story and that he's not a good role model for inner city youth. Here's an article I'm going to leave in the description box, which is called Forgive or Forget, Michael Vick has earned the right to be forgiven. But according to a racist white bitch like this, known as Vajesty, she believes otherwise. And she's not alone. There are hundreds of thousands of racist white people like her who believe that even though Michael Vick has lost so much money in bankruptcy right here, anywhere from $10 million to $50 million, okay, that he had to file bankruptcy. This man lost his job. He lost his home. He lost his cars. He lost everything. And I am not saying he shouldn't have lost it. What I'm showing you is that this man has rose up like a phoenix, okay? And even though these racist white liberals always talking about how marginalized and how oppressed black people are, it doesn't matter if you served your time in jail. It doesn't matter if you are donating millions upon millions of dollars to nonprofit organizations that benefit dogs, that benefit animals. It doesn't matter. You can't do no right in this racist bitch eyes. Even if you have served 23 months in jail, that is not enough for them. When Michael Vick got out of jail, he signed a 6-year contract with the Philadelphia Eagles worth $100 million. And let me just say, that was money well spent, and they haven't regret their decision. Because he's an exceptional athlete, Michael Vick was picked as one of the 4 NFL Legends Pro Bowl captains, a position well earned. But regardless of the 300,000 signatures they received to get him removed as an honorary Pro Bowl captain, it didn't work. He will serve as one of the Pro Bowl captain anyway. Try again. Anyway, I just want to bring your attention to a podcast that I was part of on Twitch, where I and this racist white bitch go at it in reference to Michael Vick. And let me tell you something, this roundtable was a hoot. If you want to see racism in action, here is where you find it. Check this shit out.
Like, I absolutely benefit from certain things. I'm privileged. My parents are still together. I have not needed for anything. I've been like upper middle class my entire life. While I am a minority because I'm Jewish, like I'm extremely white passing, especially because my first job. Thanks, Dr. Woods. But like I don't understand why, especially people around my age group are acting as if Yang isn't a person of color, and why identity politics even fucking matters. Like I don't get it.
I have no idea what happened.
Y'all aren't hearing what the internet's freaking out about Mike Vick about the Pro Bowl? And everyone's like, why the fuck is the NFL?
I don't know what's going on. Tell us, educate us.
Michael Vick is the quarterback, I believe back in like 2008, served jail time, and then he came back to the NFL, and actually is like a really fucking phenomenal quarterback. But he went to jail for dog fighting, and it primarily pit bulls, and he was like hammering live pit bulls to trees, and like absolutely more so than just dog fighting, but like torturing the animals. And a lot of people are like saying, well, why are we giving this guy like a platform to still be like?
But didn't he serve his time? I mean, when do we start forgiving people who have already?
My bigger question is, why bring Vick up when this has been something that's been? I mean, he hasn't been around. Is there something recently that just happened this week?
Yeah, he's nominated for like the Pro Bowl or something like that.
Well, he doesn't play.
Did see a tweet about this earlier, and like the tweet was arguing. I think it may have been from Micro Macro, but I'm not sure. Micro Macro TX. That might be wrong though. That He's been like advocating against dogfighting now. Like he's been like doing a lot of like activism work against.
Yeah, I mean he's reformed himself.
I don't know.
He reformed himself, and he still ain't good for people.
Sure, but I think that if so, I take animals' lives pretty fucking seriously, especially torturing them. And this wasn't like, okay, so that a lot of people are going to come at me, so just let me finish. But like one of y'all can help me. The woman who walked into the man's apartment thinking it was her apartment, shot him, killed him.
Cop in somebody in Texas, wasn't it? Recently?
Yeah, the female cop, right? So she's paying her service. Do I think that she should be a police officer when she gets out? No. And that was one isolated incident that may or may not have been accidental. This guy, it was a premeditated thing that happened time and time again. I don't think that because he served a cushy sentence, I don't think that he gets to come out and
a cushion sentence. Hold on, and the time and time when he was busted, he went to jail. This is not that he got found out one time and was given a slap on the wrist. This happened in Georgia, as a matter of fact. Once it was found out about the dog fighting ring, he was everything was confiscated. He was put in jail. He was kicked off the team. He served his time in jail. He came back. He was given a second chance, which is I thought that's what you all want, is to give people a second chance after they served their time in jail and actually started to do.
Is the police officer who's serving 10 years?
She's still in jail. I don't know.
Yeah,
here's the thing.
Okay. Her Majesty, then Tree.
I want to talk about Mike Vick because here's the thing. You all are saying, this is what you're saying. You're saying that when somebody commit, I'm sorry, that's very fair, Turing. I sincerely apologize. When you say that somebody commits a crime and they actually is found guilty and they go to jail and they serve their sentence, and when they get out of jail and they begin to reform their lives and do the right thing instead of the wrong thing, they still should be punished for to the very act that they have actually paid for. Is that what you're saying?
Go ahead.
I don't think that Michael Vick should be in a position where little children can idolize him and view him as a hero now.
Why not?
Okay, so that, Majesty, you've got a point, and that's like your... I don't know if I agree with your position. I'd have to think about it. I just wanted to say, however, that I think comparing a cop going back to their job based on something that they did with their weapon is different than comparing a football player going back to his.
Sure, George Zimmerman.
That's the only thing that I was saying. I
don't think that George Zimmerman should be on watch.
Watch it. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Why should Mike Vick, who has reformed himself, be idolized by children to show an example of this is what you do when you do wrong, you get punished, you go to jail, and now that you do right, you get honored. You basically take the money that you used to use for bad, you use it for good to help animals, and you're saying that such a person should not be looked upon as a hero by little children to see,
correct.
Hey, if you do X, this bad thing is going to happen to you.
I think that there's a line.
And that he never learned from his past mistakes, which he has. He has specifically learned from his mistakes. So you're saying that there's no redemption ever for anybody to basically he served his time in jail. That's what's so amazing to me. So because if you're going to go by that argument, right, you do understand that you have to apply that to everybody who served time in jail, that they don't get a second chance, that we should always look at them as a bad guy.
Crimes have anything to do with torturing and murdering dogs for years.
This is
a vegan, Majesty?
By the way, I'm vegan. I'm vegan, and I'm saying this as a vegan. What I'm saying is that Mike Vick was wrong. Mike Vick went to jail. Mike Vick served his time. Mike Vick got out of jail. Mike Vick started to take his money, and he now use it to fund charitable events and non-kill shelters for animals. When he used to do wrong, he was wrong. He got punished for it. Now he's doing right, and you still get the man's shit. He can never be redeemed in your eyes, and I find that very suspect.
Correct, because I find that irredeemable.
Yeah, I think that
what do we do with him, Majesty?
I think that we do not put him in a position where he is able to be idolized by young children, because like I fucking love football. I'm a season ticket holder to the Longhorns, unfortunately. I go to every single home game and every single close to home game. Mike Vick is a phenomenal quarterback, but I don't think that we should give him a podium to be.
So he shouldn't be looked at as a phenomenal quarterback then.
I think that
if I'm not mistaken, isn't that what
phenomenal-
he's being honored for being a phenomenal quarterback?
What about a redemption arc?
Hold on. Isn't he being honored for
I don't
being a
think that
phenomenal
you're
quarterback?
talking
Yes or no?
I think, well, here's the thing. Even
Can she answer my question? Is he being honored for being a phenomenal quarterback? Yes or no?
honestly, like nobody gives a fuck about the about the Pro Bowl.
Wait a minute,
I don't
answer
really
my question.
understand.
Yes or no?
I don't know
being
what I don't know anything about the Pro Bowl because it does not matter. So I actually do not know.
Did you just say that they want to honor him for being a good quarterback? Did you not? Did you not say they want to put him in some kind of Hall of Fame?
No, I said that I do not think that we should put him in a position where he is on a podium where small children can
And
idolize
what podium is that?
Well,
being in the NFL again.
So therefore, you
I've got a
actually
different
honor
thing.
him for being a phenomenal quarterback, but you don't honor him for being a phenomenal quarterback. Which one is it, girl?
No,
I
think
know
that
it's very,
he is a
she's
great
contradicting
quarterback.
herself. She's contradicting herself because she's like he shouldn't be honored by young kids for being a good player in the NFL, but she considers him a phenomenal quarterback.
He is a phenomenal quarterback, yes. But I don't think that.
But children should not admire him for being a.
Wait, let her finish. Let her finish, Tree.
Okay. I don't think that. Okay, so again, unfortunately, I'm a Texans fan, and the Texans have always and will always suck dick, it seems like. But like the Texans are one of the few NFL teams that does not like and will actively not draft felons. Right? I think that if we are giving people positions to be idolized by small children, it doesn't matter how phenomenal. Just like I think that Johnny Football or Manziel, I don't think that any of these people should be idolized just because they're good at a sport, including Michael Vick. I can say that Michael Vick is a phenomenal quarterback, but I do not think that he should be given the opportunity that he has already been given when he did such horrible things with that opportunity.
Which he paid the price for.
Wait, can I ask you a question, Tree? This will sound like really bad. And everything. Let's say you have the best quarterback in the freaking world, right? Best one, like, hands down, like every stat says that they're the best quarterback ever, right? And then news comes out that they're a pedophile. Would you say that person still should have
this is a false equivalency. You're saying pedophile. Okay, the thing about it is this: is I don't believe that a team would hire a pedophile. We're talking about Michael Vick here.
Yeah, no, I'm saying let's say that they didn't find out until afterwards, right? And then they were caught and put in jail, and then the guy got free and has, is now doing charity work against child abuse or something. Do you think that person should still be in the Hall of Fame?
Here's the thing. Now, I don't know if this is against Twitch terms of service because there's a lot of things I can and cannot say.
Let's test it, Tree.
I'm the one. I'll be the one who's mad. Okay, I'll take the fall.
My thing is that pedophilia is, I consider it a mental disease that is uncurable, and there should be things done when you're dealing with someone who deals with pedophilia, okay, of actual pedophile. I think I'm gonna talk in codes. There's only one cure for a pedophile. Now, I want to stay on the issue about Michael Vick, and I want to know when. The fact is that people can be selective of who can be redeemed and who can't be redeemed based upon their prejudice. So my thing is that anyone can sit up here and say, well, I find Michael Vick to be a phenomenal quarterback, but I don't want children. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said he's a phenomenal quarterback, yes.
Yeah, a phenomenal quarterback, but I don't want children to feel the same way I feel. That's hypocritical. And you have a man who have served his time, and what you're displaying to the world is that it doesn't matter if you go to jail and you serve your time and you're coming out and given a second chance and you reform yourself, you will still be punished for your for your past transgressions.
How many people get punished right now because they have a felony record and they can't get jobs?
Exactly, but here's my thing. I don't agree with that either. But so how does this make this any different?
One thing I did want to ask.
Okay, so I already said non-violent crimes shouldn't be equatable to killing and torturing animals for years.
Do you, Majesty, are you vegan? Are you vegan?
Like, I don't mean to be
No, she's not a vegan. So here's the thing.
Wait. Okay, let's let Luna talk. She hasn't talked for a while.
Just gonna say, like, this is a really, really, really difficult issue, and I feel like I'm more in a position where I'd like to like learn and hear from other people. I just want to hear from someone else on this because I feel like we've heard a lot.
Right.
Like,
okay, then let me get one of my questions answered. Are you vegan, Majesty?
No, I was for 3 years, but I eat everything but shellfish and pork now. But I am a
just like free range rescue mother. Do you eat like factory farmed foods at all?
I mean, I shop at Central Market, so I sure fucking hope not, because shit's really expensive.
Okay, fair. I was just gonna say, like, if you're talking about like animal cruelty, and listen, I am
you
not.
You eat animals, yet still you gonna sit up here and talk shit about Michael Vick and his past transgressions.
Sure, I think that it is hypocritical.
Hey, excuse me, this is now my moment.
Okay. Wait. Okay, touring Her Majesty, then Tree.
Wow.
There.
All that I was going to say is, listen, I'm not equating us eating to what Michael Vick did. But if you're going to have such a strong stance about what Vick did, I thought that you mentioned the torturing of animals and things like this. If you look at factory farms, if you look at how chickens are raised, if you look at how cows are raised, typically in factory farms right now, that is torture. They are put in pens, they're not allowed to move, etc., etc. I just wanted to bring that point up. Everybody else.
Thank you, Go, for the gifts.
Hypocrisy. That's all it is just hypocrisy. My thing is that...
am I incorrect with the stink eye?
No, you're very correct. You're very correct. My thing is that, and I'm just going to say this. If you cannot allow people to redeem themselves in this situation where they actually turned their life around and did a 180, and you still want to hold their past transgressions against them, then what the fuck is the point of reforming?
Wait, I have another question, Tree. Okay, so I understand your point.
Can I get that question answered first? What is the point of reforming if you're going to still use their past transgressions?
You want to kill all pedophiles, dude.
What?
You find I literally said that. So you find something
stop pivoting and answer my question in reference to Michael Vick. Because I'll play the race card if I got to get you guys to answer my goddamn question. My thing is this. When is a black man gonna goddamn be able to redeem himself in white America without being victimized by privileged white people in reference to you're not good enough to play in white man's America? Okay, right. I can play the race card, but the thing about it is I'm being hyperbolic. I'm trolling. Okay, what I'm saying is now I'm not trolling. Okay, what I'm about to say is I'm not trolling. What I'm saying is this. Michael Vick did wrong. Michael Vick got caught doing wrong. Michael Vick he lost his job, he lost his house, he lost his materialistic things. That's all fine, and he went to jail. He got out of jail, and he did a lot of community service. He donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to no-kill shelters and animal rights activists, and a lot of things he did for animals. And he began to tell children in the hood who also who may have thought about practicing dog fights and underground dog fights and animal abuse. He also talked to those people and told them that this is wrong, don't do that, and had those children reform and decide to change their mind. And that's still not good enough for you all, for him to be actually credited and give honors for the things he's actually doing in the sports arena in the NFL. Okay. It's still not good enough for him.
So here's my actual position. I'm really gonna bin out my actual position. So I agree with you, Tree, but I also see where Her Majesty's coming from, and I know that sounds very wishy-washy, but I think it's just honestly a thing of subjectivity, right? I don't think all crimes are redeemable, right? I think if you're a serial killer, if you're a pedophile, and if you're a rapist, go fuck off. Honestly, fuck off. I do not care about your redeemability. I think you have crossed the line. I think you have hurt way too many innocents. I think Huh? Yeah, you have broken the social contract to a next fucking level. Fuck off. So I think, I don't think all things are redeemable. And I think, that's why, this topic just goes back to subjectivity. Because if Her Majesty thinks that, doing animal cruelty for years is irredeemable to her, then, that's just, you can't, force somebody to, feel differently, So I guess, but it is an interesting topic because it's what factors, if any objective, do we put where we decide somebody's irredeemable? Because for me, it's extraneous amounts of harms towards innocence, right?
To me, Michael Vick has done a lot to discourage other youth in the hood of doing the same thing he has done. I mean, should we not take that into consideration? Because you guys don't understand, dog fighting, it used to be big until Michael Vick has felt remorse and actually came back into the ghettos, came back into the projects and said, no, this is bad. This is not the way to go. And when you have little black boys who look up to him and say, well, Michael Vick said this is wrong. He used to do it, but he realized it was wrong. And now he's teaching us this is not the way to go. Think about the hundreds of thousands of lives of other dogs that are saved because he has been reformed. To sit up here and just throw that out of the window just because you're still butthurt about the fact that he has paid his price, that's a problem, because I still see him doing something good, and he is because he's been reformed, he has also discouraged that same action, the same actions or the same crimes that he committed, preventing other little boys from, or even teenagers or young adults from doing the same thing. I see him as doing something good, and I think he should be rewarded for that. And he's being honored for his performance in the NFL. He should be honored for his performance in the NFL, and if he is being honored, then good on him.
I have a problem with the NFL not caring about people's character. I have a problem with the NFL accepting him after this, just like I have a problem with the NFL being openly okay with people who on video have abused women, beaten women. I have a problem with all of these things.
Why don't you just have a problem with the NFL? Because it's a horribly barbaric activity.
I agree with her on that too.
Look at what football does, all right? So I'm a soccer fan. It's the only sport that I watch anymore. All right? There is a problem with concussions in soccer at the moment right now. The United States was the first country in the world to disallow headers up until the age of 13 because they're worried about CTE. All right, football has used its players like meat time and time again.
Yeah.
They don't take care of their players. They don't give them pensions. They don't give them medical benefits. They buried CT under the rug.
Sure,
So I'm just saying that it's we're talking about this game that you're saying you have problems with the game, but actually look at the game itself and think about what it's.
I have a problem with the industry. Not
actually, she's right, because there was a football player who raped a woman and he was found not guilty. So it's not necessarily the players, it's actually the NFL. So I would think that I would be more on your side of the NFL is the problem instead of it being Michael Vick, because when that guy and they were caught butt naked, you see him dragging this woman, she's screaming, she's nude, and he's dragging her into the bedroom, and he raped her. He got out, he was found not guilty. And then you see so many videotapes of other football players beating their wives or knocking out female fans, and they have been charged with rape. They have been charged with assault and battery and sodomy. They have been charged with this, in the NFL go bad. Now go out there and play. And I totally get that argument, because if you want to say that right there would be the fault of the NFL, not these individual players.
But it is the fault of the individual player, because the individual players who tortured animals. I'm also upset with the NFL. But here's the thing with what you said, Touring News. So obviously we're not including like Pele and Ricardo or like Bale or any of those people in this. But so my like holy hierarchy of sports is college football, then MLB, then NFL, right? And then everything else don't really give a fuck, other than like maybe curling underneath that, right? MLB and golf are like the two. If you are good at those and you have like an option to do that over any others, do that, because they pay your retirement. Like we're still paying like the Astros, I say weird, like Craig Biggio's fucking salary, right? And that dude hasn't played in forever, right? And obviously, like MLB, you might like throw your shoulder out, you might get arthritis, but you're not going to get like concussions from fuck and get ruined. But whenever you play a sport, and the shitty football player makes more money than a decent soccer player.
No, they don't. What about all the ones
really
that don't make it? What about all the ones that don't make it there? All right, I'll let you keep going.
Well, sure, but we're not talking about ones that don't make it.
Well, this is why I'm talking about it, because the health risks for those people to get
But here's the thing, though. You're engaging in a contract. Like, nobody's putting it... Like, this isn't China preparing for the Olympics. Nobody's holding a gun or sending you to camp.
Did the
saying
kids
you
know
have
what they were doing at age 8 when they were signing up for it to get into concussion sports? It's going to lead them to...
Sure, when I played football at age 8, I
right,
wanted to play football.
Yeah, cool. Okay. And I guess you knew what CTE was back then. Like, this is just... I don't stand for football.
Well, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. They're engaging in a contract knowing that they can get hurt.
At
right?
age 8,
I think
they're making that
Right,
decision.
Vick knows that
I mean, nowadays,
and Mike Vick makes a fuckload of money.
And Mike
right?
Vick is a good role model for inner city youth. If you're not going to do the shit he's doing, you're not in a position to judge the man, okay?
I think that a black man like Andre Johnson is infinitely a better role.
It doesn't matter what you think should be a better role. What I'm telling you is that Mike Vick is actually participating and he's actually in the inner city community. He's
do you
actually
know
going
who Andre
to black.
Johnson is, though, Tree of Logic?
I do know who Mike Vick is, and I do
Okay,
know
but do
for
you
a
know
fact.
who
Hold
Andre
on, excuse me.
Johnson
I do know for a
also
fact
is
he is
phenomenal
going into the
black
hood. He is
football
going into the
never
ghetto.
got in
He is
trouble.
actually mentoring little black teenagers to be better role
So
models
is
when he
Andre
grow up.
Johnson.
Unless you're going to fucking do the same goddamn thing, I don't think you're in a position to even talk about what he should be doing as for the inner city youth.
Sure, I don't think that he should, with all of his millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, I don't think that he should be torturing animals.
He's not torturing animals. Shut the hell up. He's not. He's actually paid his fucking price, and he went to jail.
All right.
So he's lying about
Tree,
him.
come
He
on
did
now.
not.
okay.
Tree, come on.
I mean, she's lying. She said
Hey,
he's torturing
No,
animals. He served his
Come on,
time.
Tree.
But
Okay, I'm
here's
sorry.
don't wanna-
My thing
you
is,
know,
stop lying
trying
and
to have
saying
a
that
calm.
he's torturing. I'm sorry. Stop lying and saying that Michael Vick is torturing animals. You're lying. He is not.
Sure, and the
did.
pedophile that you want to
He
kill
did
is
not.
actively
He
raping
used to.
children.
He was convicted. He served his time in jail. He's out now. He has reformed himself. He has once again donated hundreds of thousands of dollars, as well as participated in community services.
Okay,
and it still ain't good for your ass.
Okay,
my thing is that I'm trying to like say like what goddamn you can't reform. It's nobody can never be better in your eyes. And that's a damn shame, but it doesn't matter. You don't matter to the black community, so it doesn't matter what the fuck.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna mute like everybody in a second. I have a question. Let me ask. Yeah, let me ask. I think I already know what's like the root disagreement here. Vajesty, do you value like animal lives any differently than human lives?
I think that torture is bad across the fucking board. Yeah.
Okay, so to you it'd be like not exactly the same as like torturing a child, right? But it'd be like really fucking similar. It's like what more value should we put on a human life that we don't give respect to animals?
I think that hammering a live child to a tree and hammering a live dog to a tree are both pretty fucking inhumane and monstrous.
Okay, Tree, do you think that there's a very big gap between like human and animal lives? That there's like a pretty
I do not put children on the same scale as animals.
Okay.
And even though I'm a vegan and don't eat the animals, I don't put them on the same scale as animals, okay? I put human beings on a higher scale than I do animals.
Okay, and just to be clear, much higher, right? Not like, well,
yeah, absolutely
like,
I do.
So, okay. So that's, I think, I don't know, like, I guess, like, what more of this discussion can really be said, because it literally just a difference of values. If you don't think that human beings are, like, super that different from animals, then it's going to, like, hit really close to home, because you're going to see it, like, not exactly the same, but, like, a similar colored string, you know? However, if you don't have that value near each other, you're gonna see it as like a completely like different instrument, right? I'm sorry, like I'm using really weird analogies here, but it's like what's popping onto my head.
Use the gold and purple dress analogy. Can I ask a quick question to someone, Pixie, unless you want to move on?
No, go for it.
Majesty, I'm kind of curious, like, is there anything Michael Vick could do to, like, change your mind that he's, like, reformed and he's okay to be around kids and the role model now? Just
No,
kind
I
of
think
curious.
he should be banned from the NFL.
Told you.
Okay. I mean, I just kind of
Tree of
like,
logic, do you think that a
He
pedophile that
can
starts
never
a
do right
pedophile
in your
group...
eyes, baby.
No, but
I'm
Tree
so
of logic,
glad you don't
here's
have
a
shit to
genuine
do with the
question.
black community and who should be looked as a role model. I'm so glad you are not the arbitrator of that, okay? You're not the queen of that, okay? I'm
What's the,
sorry, but
next
there
topic?
are people who look up to him and get over it, okay? Get over it.
Okay, is there...
There are people, there are young black
we heard,
boys
we
and
heard.
girls who look
And I
up to
find
Michael
that
Vick in the black
problematic.
community,
Find
and they
a better
actually
role
look at him
model.
and
Oh, my earphone, no.
you are in no position to
find great quarterbacks as
I am
role
talking
models.
about
There are a
black
lot of
children
white
because
kids.
he's going into the inner city of black youth and actually reforming them to not be like him when he was in his stupid state.
Okay, can we change the topic? I think we've exhausted it. Are you guys good with that? Like,
I'm ready to move
Badge,
on.
I
Badge,
don't think I could listen to any more of it, I'm gonna be honest.
I sent you a DM. I'd be down to talk about this more in depth.
okay, so
You yell at me.
let's find another topic.
I do have one. So I kept getting yelled over, Tree, and you didn't let me ask you a specific question. Can I just ask like one question?
Yes.
A pedophile starts a support group for other pedophiles and teaches them how to not act on their urges. That person too?
I have no comment on that.
Okay, think about it for a second, or not. Luna, you have to head out. Do you have to go, or?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I have a doctor's appointment in the morning, but I had a really good time. There was some really, really good conversation that took place, and I'm glad that I could be a part of it. And it was really nice getting to hear from people who I haven't heard from before. We can, get together in the future and have some more good talks. And yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Bye.
Hi, Luna.
Goodbye, Luna. Nice meeting you.
Bye, Luna.
Okay, so here, let's let me open up the thing. Okay. Tell me, is there?
Listen, I appreciate the passion. I'll say that much.
I think it's good that people have the topics that they're really passionate about. Nothing wrong with that.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, here we have this privileged woman who is white but wants to tell everybody that she's white passing. These delusional white racist liberals on Twitch, they are mind-blowing. It's like a shock to my system to be exposed to blatant racism such as this on the left. But after just watching that again, I was just realizing that I really took it easy on her, and I won't do that the next time a racist white liberal surface in front of my face and tell me that they should be able to dictate who the black community should see as their role model and who they should not. This right here was the lowest of the low. And to compare what Michael Vick did to a pedophile, honey, it don't get no lower than that. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section, and I will see you all next time. Later, taters.